Bring this Board of Commissioner meeting to order. And first we'll have Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Harrison.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You good? Next, we will need the approval of the agenda.
Mayor, I would like to pull new business B, planning, and everything under it and move it to our September regular meeting.
Can you speak louder, please?
Planning,
B.
B.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second.
I didn't make the motion.
Sorry, who motion, who second?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended. And
Second? Second. Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Discussion? All in favor? All in favor of the agenda as amended? Yeah, let's see hands. All right. Thank you. Next on the agenda, public comment. We have one to sign up for public comment. Mr. Marvin Howell.
Honorable Mayor York and Commissioners, my name is Marvin Howell, and I live in downtown Zebulon. As you consider applicants for the open commissioner seat tonight, I want to take time to share that the two applicants, Devarius Gardner and George Roa, took time with the residents at the most recent Zebulon Citizens Advisory Partnership meeting to where I serve as vice chair. We appreciate their willingness to engage with the community and to share their ideas. I hope this information is helpful in making your decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any emails or statements to be read for public comment?
Yeah, there's one from Scott Carpenter. Say, Honorable Mayor York and Commissioners, my name is Scott Carpenter and I live in downtown Zebulon. I regret that I cannot be with you this evening, but I wanted to briefly share the following. As you review applicants for the vacant commissioner seat, please know that one applicant, George Roa, completed a verified candidate background check offered by the Move Zebulon Forward, PAC. This screening goes beyond a standard background check and reflects a commitment to transparency and public trust. We appreciate Mr. Roa's willingness to take the extra step, and I hope this information is helpful in your deliberations.
Thank you. Any other letters, emails that should need to be read for public comment?
Just one.
Thank you. Next, we need a motion for the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. Next on the agenda is a closed session item. As per allowed by NC General Statutes 143-318.11 for the purpose of litigation, Deacon Development LLC versus the town of Zebulon. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Closed session. And we will go next door.
Excuse me, Mayor, who seconded the motion? Thank you.
Thank you.
0692, which challenged the town's decision not to adopt the proposed Plan Development PD 2024-1 on statutory and constitutional grounds, and the town has denied any wrongdoing or liability. Whereas the Town of Zebulon Board of Commissioners has now reviewed and considered new conditions agreed to by the applicant in July 2025, in addition to the conditions set forth in the former PD 2024-1, including, number one, additional units of affordable housing. There will be 8 additional units of affordable housing. Number 2, more extensive covenants to promote purchases by homeowners rather than investors. That'll be in the form of a 15% cap on rentals spread across the phases of the development. And number 3, greater integration into Zebulon's pedestrian and multimodal transportation networks. That'll be in the form of a $250,000 fee in lieu for the construction of a multimodal path from the development towards the downtown area. The town will, the League of Municipalities has paid for the cost of defense of the action, and the town will not be paying any attorney's fees or damages. Whereas having negotiated additional conditions with the applicant that are reflected in Section 17 of the new PD 2026-02, the board wishes to enter into the settlement agreement attached to this resolution as Exhibit A, and to request that a Wake County Superior Court judge enter the consent order attached to this resolution as Exhibit B, with the intention of fully and finally resolving the litigation. The resolution next notes that now be it resolved by the Town of Zebulon Board of Commissioners as follows. The settlement agreement attached to this resolution as Exhibit A is approved, and the interim town manager is hereby authorized and directed to execute the settlement agreement on behalf of the Town of Zebulon. Number 2 is the consent order attached to this resolution as Exhibit B is approved, and the counsel for the Town of Zebulon are authorized and directed to present the consent order to a judge of the Wake County Superior Court for consideration. And number 3, upon execution of the settlement agreement and the consent order, the Town of Zebulon Board of Commissioners shall undertake all necessary steps to carry out the duties in the settlement agreement and required in the consent order. So then, if the board adopts it, it'll be dated and signed by the mayor and Madam Clerk. Any questions from the board for me?
Questions, comments from the board?
No. I'd like to make a motion, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-05.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Well, this has been a long, cumbersome event, and we hope that this will satisfy all parties involved. We have a roll vote. Commissioner Davis? Favor. Commissioner Harrison?
Favor.
Commissioner Miles?
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter?
Favor.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Old business. Board appointments.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioner. There are 4 board appointments before you this evening. The first one being Planning Board. You have 8 candidates for that. The Parks and Recreation Board, 5 candidates for that. The Board of Adjustments, 3 candidates. And the Sustainability Board, 15 candidates. The clerk will present each appointment to you and will document the appointments publicly for those present in the chamber, as well as our online audience, to be able to see the process. So I'll turn it over to our town clerk, Ms. Gomez.
Yes. Lisa, this is when we're going to start the tally or later? Thank you. Okay. So for the planning board, we have 2 ETJ vacancies. And the applicants are David Hughes, Stephanie Jenkins, and Antonio Perez. So the board have to make a nomination and motion.
Is there a nomination for ETJ applicants?
Before we move forward, is either the candidates in the House, out of the 3, or anybody in the House tonight?
Oh, is any of these candidates wish to speak?
I have an email from one of the candidates.
Okay.
This is from Ms. Stephanie Jenkins. She said, serving on the planning board has been an honor and a meaningful way for me to give back to the town I love. Zebulon is my home, and I care deeply about its future. I have stayed actively involved by regularly attending planning board meetings, town commission meetings, and joint public hearings. And I am committed to continue learning, most recently through the planning board workshop with the UNC School of Government in May 2024. Beyond the planning board, I stay connected to the community through service as a Chamber of Commerce ambassador, member of the State Employee Credit Union Advisory Board, and past involvement with the Zebulon Women's Club, and Branding Steering Committee and Park and Recreation Advisory Board. These roles have helped me understand Zebulon's needs from many different perspectives. I'm especially passionate about supporting diverse housing options, improving infrastructure and transportation, encouraging mixed-use development, and creating more opportunities for youth and seniors. I want to continue contributing to Zebulon's thoughtful, inclusive growth and help bring the community's shared vision for the future to life. No additional comments were sent to me.
Thank you. Is there a nomination?
Going to go back to the list as well.
Commissioner Baxter?
Sure. Did you want to go back to the?
Just put them up,
Pass.
just so people can see.
Yeah. Will you go
Go
back
back
to?
to the list, please.
So I move to nominate Stephanie Jenkins and Antonio Perez for the ETJ, to fulfill the ETJ vacancy. And please forgive me, Wadian Alson for the in-town applicant for the in-town vacancy.
Do we need separate motion
I think you need.
for each of those, or?
We set up a sample motion that you can add the names there, and then all of them can be added.
Okay, I can reread it again using this if that would you prefer. I move that the Board of Commissioners appoint Antonio Perez and Stephanie Jenkins to the Planning Board to fill the 2 ETJ vacancies, one for a term ending in 2027 and the other ending in 2028, and to appoint Wadian Alson to the in-town vacancy.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Sorry. One thing to clarify, based on that sample motion. Would you specify, Commissioner Baxter, who is being appointed to the term ending in 2027 and who is being appointed to the term ending in 2028?
I did that by the order in
By the
which
order?
I named it.
Okay,
That's
just for
fine.
clarity.
So Antonio Perez, 2027, and Stephanie Jenkins, 2028. Okay,
We had is that amended motion?
that's my amended motion.
Okay. Is there a second? Discussion? Roll. Oh,
If we want to, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding. If we want to state other names, do we have to make a separate motion? Do we have to?
How does that work?
So the board can file the sample motion here, or you could break it up if you're, the motion was for everybody. So if you either agree with everybody or you don't agree with everybody. If you don't, then the motion will fail, and someone else could make a motion for any of the positions separately or together. Just the way it was presented first was together.
Let's see the names again.
any other questions? The questions? You-
Hey, Commissioner Miles, this vote is for the 3 candidates that Commissioner Baxter just nominated.
Okay, possibly just for the 2, but if there's one more that we want to put in for that last one,
Oh, there we go.
how would that work? I'm saying, do I need to make another motion? For as you have the first 2, I'm good with the ETJ applicants. But for the in-town, I would like to see one that's different there. How does that work?
So then, in the hypothetical you posed, you would vote against the current motion. Maybe that motion not carry in that case, then maybe you would, or Commissioner Baxter can make a motion. If there's consensus on the ETJ applicants, you do that, and then you have another motion discussion on the in-town applicant, if that's what the board desires.
Yeah. So we have a motion and a second.
To be clear, if you approve this motion, you're approving the 3 names.
Any further discussion? All in favor for the motion? 2? So, all opposed? 2? So motion does not carry.
In this case, where it's a motion in the affirmative and the negative, the mayor, you can vote on that motion, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm so used to talking to judges. Sorry, guys. I just fall back to it.
You are honored.
Mr. Mayor.
I vote to approve the motion. Motion passes.
Now we have the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. We have 2 vacancies, and the applicants were Orlando Reyes, Dr. Wendy Watson, Brando Higgins, Solomon Williams, and Rufus Wilson Jr. And then the board will have to go through the same process of nomination and motion.
Can you place that back up there, the sample motion?
Oh, I have one for you, this one.
I move that the Board of Commissioners appoints Brandon Wiggins and Wendy Watson to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board to fulfill the 2 available seats.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Discussion?
Sorry, Commissioner Harrison, you say Wendy Watson and Rufus Wilson?
No, Brandon Wiggins, Dr. Wendy Watson.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Vote. Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Not in favor.
Commissioner Harrison. Commissioner Davis.
Favor?
Back to me again, huh? I approve the motion.
So help me understand this, Sam, if you would, please. Plurality means, maybe I didn't understand that correctly. We would go back and forth until we got what we needed. Like you made, one second, please. One second, please.
That's a different.
It's a different process. So this process is just the traditional, to appoint to these advisory boards, is just the traditional motion and second, what you're familiar with.
Okay.
On the commissioner vacancy, it's the nomination and ballot method, which is what we discussed some time ago. That is a little bit different, where the names get nominated, somebody gets a plurality or they don't. So you're right, it's different. These are being done in the traditional motion, second, affirmative, negative, case of a tie to the mayor.
Because I think it's very important that we understand that we may agree with one of the applicants or whatever it may be. I think, how do we let that be made known, where we stand on that, or pretty much kind of like you don't have the time to do that.
It would be in the discussion, Commissioner Miles, where you say, look, here's what I think. I think that this is a good candidate. I think this candidate maybe is not as good as this other candidate. If you decline, to speak to your commissioners and explain kind of what your thinking is and why they should vote differently.
Wouldn't we have the discussion prior to
To the vote.
to voting?
Yeah, when I ask for discussion, that's the time that you make your comments about.
Did we just we had discussion? 'Cause
I always ask for discussion before the vote.
Okay, so I missed that.
Okay.
I didn't hear what we had the discussion.
But if there's something you want to say,
I think for me, here's what I want to say. I'm agreeing with Brandon. I would love to see like Orlando Reyes on there instead of that. Ms. Watson, she's had her time as well. It's been on for a while, but I'd like to give somebody else a chance, opportunity to kind of, this is a great place to introduce somebody to local politics or whatever it may be. Orlando Reyes would be a great opportunity fit for it.
did you have any discussion that you would like to include, Commissioner Davis?
Yes, I actually wanted to discuss the other candidates and why we're choosing. So I also was in favor for Orlando Reyes and Brandon Higgins, but I wanted to have the discussion as far as Rufus Wilson.
I just understand that you actually have a third vacancy on the Parks and Rec board? Okay.
So let's make I make a motion that we appoint Orlando Reyes to the Park and Rec Board as well.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Is your chance to discuss or say what you think about the motion. Hearing none. Roll vote for, I forgot who it was.
Orlando Reyes.
Orlando Reyes.
Watson, Randy Higgins.
Sorry, Mayor, who made the motion and who seconded this one?
Commissioner Miles.
Commissioner Miles made the motion. Commissioner Harrison second. No further discussion. Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter.
In favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Harrison.
Favor.
Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Motion passes unanimously.
The next board is the Board of Adjustment. There's one ETJ vacancy and one alternate ETJ vacancy. And then we have one in-town vacancy. The applicants for the ETJ, there were none. And for the in-town applicants is Widian Elsin, Monique Wheeler, and Sylvia Wheeler.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Sylvia Wheeler as the in-town applicant for the Board of Adjustment.
Something we had asked for earlier, is there anyone here that would like to, that's on these boards or running for these boards, would they like to come up and speak prior to? We just want to make that available. Okay. Any further discussion? Do we make a motion on the Board of Adjustments? Do we have a second? Any further discussion? Roll vote. Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Harrison.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Motion passes unanimous.
The next one is the Sustainability Board.
Yeah.
And that will be by ballot. We have a ballot here. So we're going to go in order. We're going to appoint, the board is going to appoint 3 members for 1 year. Then we're going to go to the next one, which will be 2 years, 2 members for 2 years. And the next vote will be 2 members for 3 years.
In that block, we're putting what, the year?
Yes. We'll cast your ballot and I will pick it up for you.
Wait.
Yeah, I will pick it up when everybody's ready. I'm going to read the vote for the candidates to serve one-year term. Commissioner Miles chose Mercedes Lopez. Schuler. And Ashley Mitchell. Commissioner Harrison.
Oh, that's my bad. I might need my paper back.
What?
You got it? I don't know if it made sense, but go ahead. Do your thing.
Doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean,
You want a new one?
no, It's my bad.
Just three of them.
Yeah, I see that now. That's my fault.
I did the same thing, don't we?
Yeah, I just checked. I was like, check.
We need three.
You have to put the number. Oh, yeah. See, they need theirs back too.
We're doing a round, we're doing a series, correct? Where you come with the 1 years, and then you do the three,
Ballot.
all of them?
It's one ballot for each term.
Correct,
So this is only
for the 1 year term.
Oh, okay, so I did do it right.
So which one you have to be? No, she said you have to put three.
Oh, I have to
You
put
be
three.
Three.
We have to be three candidates for 1 year term, so we need three people. Yeah.
So put the number.
Girl, yeah, I might need another ballot.
Yeah, I can give you.
3 people for the 1 year term.
Yeah, because it'd be easier than.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. Sorry, that was confusing.
Let me give you, green one.
Yes, thank you.
Let me.
You got
Can
it.
you put the null and the one, put here null? Can you put null and the other one, null one? So I can walk you through it.
Yeah. To serve 1 year terms.
We'll make extra copies, no worries.
One.
Three for,
Which one?
you said 3 for this one?
No, I don't, listen, I'm just
three
thinking,
total.
Oh,
Yeah, it was good.
you gotta, I put one.
This is yours, this is put it null and down, so I know that it's a null ballot.
Because I chose different.
I did the same thing.
Hey, Lisa.
I guess you should have gave us a lesson point. I said you should have talked us through it.
And I checked every offset, or whatever, you know.
that's what I was thinking.
That was my question.
Okay. Commissioner Davis, Mercedes Lopez, Ashley Mitchell, and John Williams. Mercedes Lopez, Ashley Mitchell, and Williams, the last one, Jalen. Commissioner Baxter, Mercedes Lopez, Corina Schuler, Jalen Williams. And Commissioner Harrison, Marvin Howell, Mercedes Lopez, Misha Thomas. we have to take another vote for all of you between Schuler, Mitchell, and Williams. So Ms. Lopez already got the most votes, and now we have to decide two more from between Schuler, Mitchell, and Williams.
Just one.
You need to vote for two.
Schuler, Mitchell.
Mitchell and Williams.
I did it right this time. Just so you know. You're welcome. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Got date.
Commissioner Davis for Williams. Commissioner Miles for only one? Two?
I thought,
It's okay. We with you. Schuler, Mitchell, Williams.
Back. Commissioner Davis, Corina Schuler, and John Williams. Commissioner Miles, Ashley Mitchell, Corina Schuler. Commissioner Harrison, John Williams, Ashley Mitchell. Commissioner Baxter, Corina Schuler, John Williams. If Sustainability Board, the 3 members to serve for 1-year term will be Mercedes Lopez, Corina Schuler, and Jalen Williams. Vote is for, yeah. Well, the next vote is for you have to pick 2 to serve 2 years. So 2 candidates, 2 applicants or candidates for 2 years. two candidates to serve 2 years term. Commissioner Davis with Deanne Alson and Ashley Mitchell. Commissioner Miles, Ajana Glaze, and Tamisha Thomas. Commissioner Baxter, Ajana Glaze, and Ashley Mitchell. And Commissioner Harrison, Ajana Glaze, and Ashley Mitchell. Ajana Glaze and Ashley Mitchell. So Ashley Mitchell and Ayana Glaze will be the two board appointments for 2 years term. The next ballot is for two candidates to serve 3-year term.
Do you need her to?
I don't think she can.
So could you move that back a little further? So I can see what we've got. Yeah, I just want to make sure that okay, cool, thank you.
Oh, we just still doing it in town. I did it. We're just doing it in town, correct? We're just still doing it in town.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, gotcha. Go for it.
For the two candidates to serve the 3 years term is Commissioner David selected Gina Bryant and Tamisha Thomas. Commissioner Baxter, Gina Bryant and Tamisha Thomas. Commissioner Miles, Gina Bryant, Tamisha Thomas. Commissioner Harrison, Gina Bryant, and Marvin Howell. Yep. So Gina Bryant and Tamisha Thomas will serve 3 years term in the Sustainability Board. Yeah, so the total elected members to the Sustainability Board is Mercedes Lopez, Corina Schuler, Jalen Williams, Ashley Mitchell, Ajana Glaze, Gina Bryant, and Tamisha Thomas.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, Board of Commissioner vacancy.
Thank you, Mayor. I will provide an overview and turn it to the town attorney for to explain the process for the appointment. On June 2nd, Mrs. Beverly Clark resigned her position as town commissioner, and the board accepted her resignation during a specially called meeting on June 23rd. According to the town charter, section 3.3, quote, in the event a vacancy occurs in the office of commissioner, the board shall by a plurality vote appoint some qualified person to fill the vacancy until the next general election. And the person appointed to fill the vacancy shall serve only until an elected successor takes office. The seat will be filled as follows from the votes cast at the election. The seat will be filled by plurality, and the seats that would normally be up for election shall be filled first based on the highest number of votes equal to the number of seats to be filled for full terms. And the unexpired term shall be based on the next highest number of votes. Applications were received on June 25th, application period opened on June 25th and closed on July 21st. We received 7 applications for the vacant position and requested their background checks as well as felony disclosure forms. On July 29, the town attorney, the town clerk, and myself conducted a meet and greet with the candidates, but also provide an opportunity of council, an understanding of council manager form of government, and to answer questions that each candidate may have. Appointments may be made today, but they could be delayed subject to pre-employment screening results and felony conviction disclosure form. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our town attorney, Mr. Sam Slater, to explain the process for appointing the next Board of Commissioner. Thank you.
Mayor and members of the board, we spoke about this a little while ago when we were talking about the process for this, and a couple key words from the interim town manager's comments that are in your charter are that you shall appoint the vacancy, so you don't interpret that to mean you can't just wait until November. You need to act on it, which is what you're doing and why you're doing it. And the second is that the vote is by plurality. So that exercise you just did for that many members on the sustainability board will be instructive of what you're doing here. So a plurality vote follows what's called the nomination and ballot process. So unlike some of those other votes, there's not your traditional motion, second, yay, nay, in case of a tie. It's you will nominate your candidates. You could nominate all of those names. You can nominate just some of those names, but the floor will be open to nominations, and anybody that you want the board to consider. Would you go back to that list? Yeah. Anybody you want the board to consider of those names, you should nominate. After the nominations are complete, then there'll be. Do you have paper ballots like you did? Yeah. Then there'll be paper ballots of those names nominated, and you can vote on it. And a plurality vote means it doesn't need to be a majority. It just is the most votes. In this case, there's 4 of you voting, so 1 doesn't do it, 2 doesn't do it. You have to get to 3. So effectively, plurality in this case is kind of like a majority. Not all towns have the same number. So I mean, there's situations where a plurality could be less than majority. Here, that won't happen just because of your numbers. Any questions from me before we talk about the candidates?
Yes, I thought that 2 votes could actually take the cake if there were 2 votes for other candidates.
Thank you. Good point. That's a good example. It would in that case. It was 2-1-1. In my mind, I was jumping to a 2-2 like we saw earlier, but 2-1-1, and that would be it. That would be the plurality. You're correct.
Any further discussion, questions, comments? We need to proceed with the nominations?
The candidates have 5 minutes to speak each if they're present.
Oh, yeah. And any of the candidates here who wish to speak, come to the podium.
Mayor, Commissioners, my name is Trenton Schmidt. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. This campaign and this moment are not about titles or ambition. They're about service. I'm a husband, a father, and a neighbor. I want my son to grow up seeing that leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about showing up, standing up, and making a difference for the people around you. My desire to serve this town didn't begin with this application. It started shortly after moving to Zebulon, just under 2 years ago. I came here with the hope of finding not just a house, but a home, and I found that. I also found a town on the edge of great opportunity, with incredible people and deep-rooted values. I knew then that I wanted to contribute something greater to this community, to be part of shaping where we're headed. Since then, I've made it a point to understand Zebulon not just from data points or policy papers, but from its people. I've walked alongside residents with no means of transportation on Gannon Avenue to get groceries at Compare Foods. I've spoken with families in multi-generational homes, many of whom built their wealth and legacy through smart land investments. I've lived in a new development and spent time downtown at small businesses, coffee shops, and community events, listening, learning, and asking, what matters most? What I've found is this: Zebulon is a town that values family, faith, and heritage. Residents here want positive growth, but not at the expense of losing what makes Zebulon special. They want safe neighborhoods, a thriving local economy, and the ability to enjoy the property they've worked hard to earn. Understanding that is one thing, but taking action is another. That's why I stepped up to serve on my HOA Board of Directors, where I'm now the Vice President and Chair of the Architectural Review Committee. It's a position that's allowed me to help my neighbors directly and to engage in conversations about responsible development, neighborhood concerns, and long-term community planning. Before moving here, I dedicated years of my life to understanding public service from a policy and leadership standpoint. I earned my Bachelor of Arts degree in political science with a minor in pre-law from Western Illinois University, graduating with honors. I'm trained in parliamentary procedure and Robert's Rules of Order. But more importantly, I know that real leadership means showing up, listening first, and serving with integrity. Each of you has modeled that in your own way, and I would like to share my experiences with some of you. Commissioner Baxter, I'll always remember you being the first to greet me in this chamber and shake my hand. That small gesture stuck with me more than you probably realized. Commissioner Miles, firsthand how you've helped families get their children enrolled in school, especially those with special needs. That level of care leaves an impression on people. Mayor York, when I reached out with a question about this very meeting early in the morning, just a few days after we met, you answered the phone on the first ring. You were enthusiastic, accessible, and encouraging, and that meant a lot. Mayor Pro Tem Harrison and Commissioner Davis, I haven't had the opportunity to speak with you directly, but I look forward to the chance to connect, learn from your perspectives, and continue working towards Zebulon's future. I share these moments not to flatter, but because they reflect something important, how small actions of leadership can create lasting impact. And that's the kind of leadership I want to bring to Zebulon. I'm not here with grand promises. I know real progress takes time, cooperation, and commitment. I'm here to ask for the opportunity to serve, to work alongside you, and to help build a Zebulon that balances growth with preservation and ambition with accountability. I'm someone who does the homework, who asks questions, and who always wants to understand the full picture before making decisions. That's the kind of commissioner I would be. As a candidate, I've taken the time to thoroughly review Zebulon's most important guiding documents: the Comprehensive Land Use Plan, Unified Development Ordinance, Transportation Plan, Parks and Recreation Master Plan, our town charter, and the fiscal year 26 adopted budget. These aren't just government files to me. They're the foundation of how we plan, grow, and serve our residents. I understand how land use plan sets the long-term vision for balanced growth, and while the UDO translates that vision into real-world zoning and development rules. Our transportation plan addresses traffic and connectivity, and our Parks and Rec master plan ensures that as our population grows, so does our access to green space, recreation, and community wellness. I've studied the town charter to understand the responsibilities of this office, and I've dug into the fiscal year 26 budget to see where our resources are going. This year, Zebulon is investing over $17 million in critical public infrastructure, like a new fire and EMS station, and upgrading town facilities, alongside nearly $2.4 million in street improvements, $1.85 million in park development, and targeted funding to strengthen downtown vitality, public safety, and town technology. That tells me that Zebulon is preparing not just for the Zebulon of today, but for the Zebulon of 10, 20 years from now. And that's the kind of forward-thinking leadership I intend to continue, rooted in understanding, built on preparation, and focused on long-term outcomes. Zebulon is growing. That growth needs to be smart, inclusive, and thoughtful. I believe by bringing the right combination of community engagement, policy understanding, and leadership readiness to help guide us through that growth. It would be my great honor to serve as Zebulon's next commissioner and to help shape a future that reflects the values we all share. So when you're choosing who should help lead Zebulon into its next chapter, choose someone who's not just willing to show up, but studying, asking the hard questions, and preparing for what's next. I'm not here to make noise. I'm here to make progress with purpose, with vision, and with you. Let's build the future of Zebulon together, one decision, one project, and one neighborhood at a time. Thank you.
Stay under 5 minutes, is that correct?
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor York, esteemed commissioners, fellow residents of Zebulon. I am Lucretta Moore, and thank you for this incredible opportunity to stand before you tonight to express my deep interest in serving our beloved town as commissioner. Zebulon isn't just a place I live. It's my home, it's a community that I've grown to love, and a place where I'm deeply invested in our shared future. So what is my commitment? I believe that effective leadership in small towns like ours starts with listening, and that's what I've been doing for the last few years. It's about understanding the unique fabric of our community, the traditions, the challenges, and the aspirations. If given the privilege to serve, my priority will be to amplify the voice of the community. I want to ensure that every decision we make reflects the diverse needs and hopes of our residents, from our long-standing families to our newest neighbors. I'm committed to responsible growth. We all want to see Zebulon thrive, but that may not mean that we all agree on how that happens. But what that does mean, though, is about smart development that enhances our quality of life, it supports our local businesses, it preserves the charm and the character that we all love. It means balance and progress with preservation, ensuring that as we move forward, we hold on to our values. I myself am from a small town in eastern North Carolina, so I'm very familiar with the dichotomy that change often brings. But the truth is, we can't avoid it. But what we can do is have the right conversations around it. I also believe in fiscal prudence and transparency. As commissioners, we are stewards of taxpayer dollars. I promise to approach every budget decisions with diligence, ensuring that funds are allocated wisely, efficiently, and with clear accountability to the residents. Every dollar spent should contribute directly to the betterment of our community. So what is my experience? My professional background is in program and project management, also in risk management and compliance. I've organized several public service events and have decades of public service. All those things have taught me the importance of collaboration, problem solving, practical execution. I'm not afraid to roll up my sleeves, to ask the tough questions, and work tirelessly to find solutions that benefit everyone in some way. Additionally, I've been heavily involved in community-sponsored town events
like the Juneteenth celebration, which I was a chair and had volunteered in previous years, supporting ZDAC, supporting events such as Spring Fest, Candy Cane Lane, as well as supporting local organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. I also sit on the board of Angel Prince, one of Zebulon's Chamber of Commerce members. More to that, I pledge to be an accessible and responsive commissioner. My doors will be open, my phone available, and my ears to listen. I believe in clear, timely communication, ensuring you're always informed about the issues that affect our town. No question is too small, no concern will go unheard. However, I also believe in challenging our residents to think differently than their own perspectives for the greater good of the town. So what is my promise? Our town has a rich history and an even brighter future. I am genuinely passionate about contributing to that future, working alongside each of you to build a stronger, more vibrant Zebulon. I ask for your trust and your consideration for this role. Make no mistake about it, I am not naive to the challenges ahead, which are not uncommon to any town facing such acute growth. Although the tenure of this appointment will be short in nature, every day working towards the betterment for the future of Zebulon is a day well spent. Thank you for your time, thank you for your attention, and I look forward to the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is George Roa. First of all, congratulations on the town for settling Deacon and getting that lawsuit out of the way so we can all move forward as a town. That's pretty good. My name is George Roa, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. For those who don't know me, my wife Amanda and I moved to Zebulon in 2023. We bought our first home here and later welcomed our daughter Carmen. And we didn't just move here, we put down roots here. And from day one, we poured ourselves into this community we now proudly call home. Shortly after moving here, I was honored when this very board appointed me to the Zebulon Planning Board, and I sincerely thank you for that opportunity. That appointment wasn't just an opportunity, it was a responsibility. I've taken that responsibility very seriously because I care about the direction that Zebulon is going in. Serving on the Planning Board has been a great experience and given me firsthand insight into the challenges and opportunities ahead for Zebulon. I've worked alongside some incredible people, folks like Stephanie, Kyle, and Naya, who've become not only colleagues, but friends. We've shared ideas, tackled difficult issues, and always focused on what's best for Zebulon's future. I was part of the development team that brought forward Gateway Zebulon, which is the town's first commercial mixed-use project. That's a meaningful step in towards creating local jobs, expanding housing options, and balancing our tax base. That project reflects the kind of thoughtful, long-term planning that I think Zebulon needs to focus on. But my commitment to Zebulon goes beyond meetings and blueprints. I co-founded the Zebulon Bearcats youth football team and helped secure its nonprofit status. Thank you. Personally funded the helmets and pads with my wife that got the kids onto the field. I also worked with this very board to get the field fees waived for the Bearcats and the Associated Vikings last year. Now I volunteer as a youth boxing coach at Fist and Faith Boxing. Shout out to Philip Lawson. He is there now with the kids, and if anybody needs somewhere to volunteer or to get involved, he's doing something great with the kids, so he could use all the help he can get. I serve on a church planting team helping launch a Spanish-speaking congregation here in Zebulon, and I've served on my HOA board working to improve safety and beautification for our neighborhood in Turin Lakes. When I realized that many of our Spanish-speaking neighbors felt left out, I created Zebulon en Español. That's a platform where I translate town meetings, police updates, and important local announcements into Spanish. I also help make some videos for Parks and Rec Department because everyone deserves access to what's happening in their town, no matter what language they speak. And when I saw how complicated the town documents can be, some of them are 700 pages like the UDO, I started a kind of podcast video series breaking them down into plain, clear language because government only works when people can understand it. I've used my skills as a content creator, which is a weird thing to say out loud, to make free promotional videos for local small businesses because I know how much it means for a shop owner to bring in just a few more customers. When small businesses thrive, so does overall Zebulon. If appointed to the board, my priorities would be to repair our infrastructure. Roads, sidewalks, and stormwater systems must come first. I went on a walk with Deb, and we walked around a part of downtown Zebulon where there were no sidewalks, and we had to get ready to run across the road because it was anxious. There was like anxiety trying to get across the street. Support public safety. Getting to know Jesse Brown, I've really understood the police department and EMT services, and I think our first responders need the resources to grow along with our town. We need to encourage smart, balanced growth. It's one thing that I talked to Matt about, so that homeowners don't have to carry the whole tax burden in Zebulon. Zebulon is changing, and while this appointment will only last a few months until the November election, I believe it still matters. It's not just about filling a seat, it's about helping the board keep moving forward during an important time. Because of my experience on the planning board, real estate, and my understanding of how the town operates, I'm confident I can step in and contribute right away. I know the issues, I'm familiar with the processes, and I care deeply about this town. I hope the mayor, the commissioners, and the residents of Zebulon will feel that they can count on me to be a thoughtful, steady, and positive presence on the board. Someone who listens, works well with others, and puts the needs of the community first. Thank you again for your time, your trust, and hopefully the opportunity to continue serving Zebulon. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor York, commissioners, and citizens of Zebulon. My name is DeVaris Gardner, and I want to be the next Zebulon Town Commissioner. I was raised in Jones County, North Carolina, a rural community where values like hard work, neighborly support, and accountability are a way of life. Later, I lived in several major cities where I saw how smart planning, strong infrastructure, and responsive leadership help growing towns thrive. That mix of rural roots and urban experiences shape how I view Zebulon's path forward, and why I believe we can grow in a way that honors our history while preparing boldly for our future. Zebulon is at a turning point. We're growing rapidly, and with that growth comes real opportunity, but also real responsibilities. We have to wisely invest carefully, and most importantly, lead transparently. I'm running to help restore public trust and rebuild Zebulon's reputation, not just as a fast-growing town, but as a well-managed, responsive, and inclusive community. Too many residents feel disconnected from the decision-making process. They feel unheard, and that has to change. If chosen, I'll lead with openness. I plan to hold sit-downs with residents at the end of each month so that we can share our thoughts, ask questions, and hear directly from me, because trust isn't built with slogans. It's built with access, accountability, and action. But restoring trust also means delivering results, and I have a clear plan to do that. We need to get serious about infrastructure. I've heard all the concerns about traffic, and I share them. We need to expand road capacity, improve intersection safety, and invest in sidewalks and stormwater systems that can handle our town's growth. Tackling traffic first opens the door to solving many other issues. We need diverse housing choices. That means adding executive level housing that attracts professionals and businesses while also protecting opportunities for families, seniors, and first-time home buyers. A strong Zebulon is one where everyone can find a home to call, everyone can find a place to call home. As we grow, we must also support the people who keep the town running, our employees. Zebulon, like many towns, is facing staff shortages that impact everything from public safety to permitting timelines. I'll push for policies that make Zebulon an employer of choice with competitive pay, opportunities for advancement, and a strong internal culture. Addressing staffing challenges is not just about filling positions, it's about making sure town services are reliable, responsive, and prepared for the future. Professionally, I work as a workforce analyst and have experience in real estate. I know how to use data to make smart decisions, and I understand how housing, jobs, and infrastructure intersect. I'll bring that knowledge to the table every day with a focus on financial responsibility, because every dollar spent should be a dollar well invested in our future. Zebulon is growing, and that's a good thing. But how we grow will define who we become. We need leadership that listens, plans, and builds with purpose. We need to earn back the trust of our residents and show that local government can be effective, responsive, and community-driven. I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to do it with you. Let's move Zebulon forward together with trust, vision, and heart. Thank you, and I'll be honored to earn your choice.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Milton Robinson. The reason why I submitted my application for the vacant seat is because I knew I was going to put my name in the ballot for the November election. So I felt this would give me an opportunity to get the experience, if elected, for that seat. Since I've been a citizen of Zebulon, I've seen some great things happen, and I wanted to be involved. I consider myself a public servant. I volunteer on various boards around the town, small boards. I volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club on a regular basis, the local Boys and Girls Club on a regular basis. And I just want to be part of the solution to the problems that we have. We can all sing together, but we can't all talk together. What I mean by that is, we all have different visions, we all have different goals, we all have different things that we want to see done. We can't do them individually, but together we can get it done. And I just want to be one of the ones that work with the town to get the vision and move us forward. Nobody comes into the position knowing how to do the job. Nobody is giving, you're not giving, hey, you're a commissioner, how you do it? I don't know that job, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what it takes, but I'm willing to work with you commissioners each and every day to move where we're trying to move, and that's solve the problems that some of the other constituents had with the infrastructure, the transportation, and personally, for me, building commerce in our city. We're growing at a rapid rate, but there are not a lot of things for us to do around here. So that would be part of my mission, to help bring those things to our town. And if chosen, I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Well, for the first time in my life, and perhaps for the first time in the history of Ireland, you're going to have a short set of comments from an Irishman. It's short because, I'm being honest with you, this is a short appointment. And I don't have the grand ambitions of my colleagues. I got to be honest with you. What I've heard today from you guys, I hope a number of you run for office, because what I heard was some really good thinking. I don't have those ambitions. I don't anticipate that. The only thing I think I could offer you is two things. One is stability. The goal of moving from now till November to bring somebody in would be someone that can slip in, stabilize, and move forward. And in the process, try to provide both outside questions with inside understanding. And the second, quite honest, is communication. One of the challenges that I brought before you, and we talked in person at times, mayor and board members, is that there is a challenge with communicating with the community members. And that challenge, I think, can be brought about by someone who, well, specializes as a doctor in communication, but also as someone who understands to ask hard questions and listen to even harder ones. I was in a conversation with one of my colleagues just before I came in here about some difficult circumstances which we were talking about. And I think having those types of communications and working out those differences in an informal way is the way to move forward as a town. I don't have big ambitions regarding infrastructure, police, or even resolving issues with regard to budget. My goal, if you bring me on board for a couple of months, is to handle those couple of months and try to increase communication. Increase communication between the people out there who come every week, and increase communication with the people who sit behind this panel trying to figure out how to satisfy needs. It's not ambitious, but it's effective. And if any of these people here get chosen ahead of me, I can't really say. I would feel that I've been shortcoming. Some good people. Thank you.
I don't know, we can proceed with the votes now if there's no any other candidates, Mayor.
So we can put it on the board. Okay.
For clarity, Madam Clerk and members, the sheet that you handed out had all the names of all the applicants. So I would just ask that someone nominate all the applicants. I mean, that's what happened because they're all written there. You can nominate individuals from who came and vote on just those individuals, or you can proceed in that manner. But for clarity, so that the public knows who the candidates are, just read off or nominate all these candidates, and then you can vote from those.
So I'll make a motion that we nominate all the candidates as currently Lucretia Moore, DeVaris Gardner, Trenton Smith, Milton Robinson, James Mitchell, George Rohr, and Donald Cohen.
It doesn't need to be a motion because you can nominate any of those candidates. So all the candidates have been nominated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Davis, Milton Robinson. Commissioner Miles, Milton Robinson. Commissioner Baxter, Lucretia Moore. And Commissioner Harrison, Lucretia Moore. So we don't have plurality. We have to go back.
So like before, you should do it again, but with those two names and see if the votes are different. And if we talked about this possibility previously, whereas in the nomination and ballot method where there's not a tiebreaker, I would try it again here and see if you get to a plurality vote. And if it seems as though you're not getting to a plurality vote, then you can table and continue. But at some point, I would encourage you to come to a plurality vote at some point. And if it never happens, then I'll have a law school case study to think about and advise you on. But I hope you get to a plurality vote.
That's good, Sam.
So we're only voting on the two. It is
Voting on Lucretia Moore and Milton Robinson.
Milton Robinson.
Commissioner Miles, Milton Robinson. Commissioner Baxter, Lucretia Moore. Commissioner Harrison, Lucretia Moore. And Commissioner Davis, Milton Robinson.
So one thing for you all to consider, I mean, you've identified two candidates.
We'll take both. No, I'm just like.
So you've identified two candidates. I think you all discuss how you want to proceed from here. I mean, you can continue if you don't think that's going to change now. You could hear from these candidates at a later date.
Can we move to the work session and then make a decision from there? That'll give us, I was asking if we can move to a work session, that gives us time to either meet with these two candidates and talk even more. I mean, that's an option.
Yeah, we can move it.
That would be in a form of a motion. Would that need to be in the form of a motion to move these two candidates to the next work session?
All the candidates, just in case there is a different way we want to consider things. So I'll make a motion to move all of the applicants to the work session on the Thursday, the 21st.
So Commissioner Baxter, I think in the nomination ballot method, the others have been eliminated, so you're down to those two. If there's some issue with a candidacy that comes up, like somebody's not qualified or something, then that would change. Then there would, you'd have to come up with other names because someone wouldn't be qualified. But assuming everybody's qualified,
I'll make a motion to move the two candidates to the work session on the 21st.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Commissioner Harrison made the second.
Do we have the date that you were moving?
The next work session.
Okay. Thank you.
Discussion. Roll vote. Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Harrison.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. I think we need a break. 5-minute recess.
team on this one, on the all-day event. So before I go to the options, I'll share a few things with you. During your meeting on July 7, we presented to you options for a hybrid holiday event that combines elements of the Christmas parade with our candy cane lane. You had also directed us at the time to meet with other partners, community partners such as the Chamber and the Downtown Main Street coordinators. We had that meeting, and while we felt that our partners would like to work with us in achieving a successful holiday event, the burden of leadership still falls on the town to organize and coordinate the event successfully. So I got together with our staff, and that is Public Works, Parks and Recreation, Police, Fire, Economic Development, Planning, and Main Street, to develop 3 options for your consideration and direction tonight. As you know, we are already significantly behind in planning for the holidays, so we really need your direction and your decision tonight before moving forward with one of these options. The question we really want to answer with these options are, how do we maximize, or the questions we want to answer are, how do we maximize community experience? And how do we minimize impact on the community and staff resources? So Sheila is going to help me drive the slides as I go through the presentation. So the first option is what we call the hybrid event. And as you can see, there are 3 scenarios to that option. What you see in the dark directional signs are the footprints of a walking parade. This option does not have a full traditional Christmas parade. So Sheila, if you could walk us through each one of those scenarios before I move on to the next option.
Sure. Option 1 is a smaller footprint. It's really more of a grand entry into what is more closely your traditional candy cane lane footprint. It is something that we are more capable of being able to support in-house without substantial additional resources. The biggest impact that you'll see is it does have some expansion onto Sycamore Street for kids' activities and for some of the town vehicles that we could put on display in more of like a touch-a-truck environment instead of them driving through a parade event. There would be that. And it would also require us to limit, if it goes through the Candy Cane Lane event, it would require us to limit vendors on the sections of Candy Cane Lane where they duplicate onto just one side. So that will create some challenges to the feel of the event, as well as working with our downtown business owners that want to have a space directly in front of their event, but it's a matter of space that we would need to move people through the event for them to have the room that they need to perform, but also to provide the space that the people will need in order to observe the performances from the sidewalk as well. So that is this first option on the far left. The second one shows a little bit of a larger footprint. This one would do 2 blocks, basically down Arundel in Church, between Vance and Sycamore, and it would have substantial impact to the event where your walking parade would go all the way down Arundel Avenue, and it would limit everything on Arundel Avenue just to one side, and it would also limit some of the activities that we would be able to do on Sycamore Street, and it would push bounce houses further down Horton Street as an example. The third option here is where it would extend across Arundel, go further down Sycamore, come back up Horton Street. We couldn't do a full loop around downtown because of we would require a need to maintain, 1, our detour route, but 2, access to the fire department in the event that there was a fire and they needed to return to immediately shower, refill oxygen tanks, get their equipment prepared in the event they have another event that they're called to. All of these events, well, I'm going to go back to the third one. All of the areas that are impacted will also have some challenges as far as how you navigate your vendors. This third one has us relocating the tree back down to closer to the intersection of Sycamore and Arundel in the main stage back to that intersection, and more of the bounce houses within the public lot. And then bounce houses would also go back to Horton Street. All three of these options have impact to street closures, some not as much as others. All of them impact our ability to provide accessible handicap parking for the entirety of the event closer to the event. I think that there will be a day where we won't have all of the challenges that we currently have. When doing events downtown, will be a day where we have facilities that are better equipped to serve these types of events, but there'll be a day where your fire department is not downtown, and that will change how we're able to do a parade loop around an event. And an example I can offer is, I believe that's what you see with the Harvest Festival in Wendell, is that they're able to do a parade and an event at the same time. The parade goes around the event, not through the event. So just something to consider. But all three of these options are more of a walking parade. The latter two would require more resources on the town, but all of them would have some significant impact to how Candy Cane Lane, as it's traditionally been appreciated by the community, would be seen and enjoyed by the community and the vendors, downtown businesses as well.
Thank you, Sheila. So if I may add to that, the hybrid event does a lot. And it's almost like the kids say, you're doing too much. And so the hybrid event has three options, like Sheila said. The first one is really half of a block in terms of walking parade. The second one is a block or two, and then the other one is 2.5 block. And so it minimizes the full experience that a resident will have for either candy cane or Christmas parade, but it does allow us to do everything at one time in one place rather than over a period of time. The second option is what we had previously last year, and that is to have two separate events, separated by about 10 days or so apart. To achieve this option, of course, we need to retain the services of a consultant to help organize the Christmas parade while we manage, staff manages the Candy Cane Lane. This is going to require some funding, but then the board adopted $20,000 for an event like that during your FY26 budget. So again, these are two separate events. When we have Candy Cane on November 22nd before Thanksgiving, and then we have Christmas parade several days after that. Now, the routing that you see there, we'll still have to go back and figure all of those things out. But what this experience does, what this option does is it gives our residents full experience of each event rather than have too little and too much. Sheila, is there anything you want to say to this? I know we have some pictures here that you can walk us through.
Yeah, we've talked about there's some similar elements to the two events. There are challenges to doing both. I mean, that's just the nature of doing events. It's a lot of infrastructure support for an event. There's a lot of staff resources put into it, community resources put into it. So we wanted to show pictures just as a reference or a reminder, not just for you guys, because I know y'all been to the events and you know what to expect, but also for the community that's watching that. Candy Cane Lane has a lot of youth performances. and a lot of kids' activities. Our community members are heavily involved in helping to create awesome experiences with Candy Cane Lane. As with the Christmas parade, there's lots of youth represented, your businesses, your civic groups. Neither of these events are possible without community, and so they both reflect community. And so what we're really looking at is, I think I shared this with Ty, is if the expectation is going to be a parade, the first option that we shared with you with that hybrid, we're not going to meet expectation. And just, it's going into that knowing that we could do a walking parade, but there's still going to be people upset that you didn't do a full parade. So if we aren't going to be satisfied, that's something that needs to be considered, is putting the resources in place so that you can do two, if that's the expectation.
Thank you. And then the last, the third option is just to not do a Christmas parade, but just to focus on Candy Cane Lane. This is our brand as a town, just like every community is known for doing something around the holidays. Candy Cane Lane obviously has more attendance, more visitors. It's very popular, not just around East Wake, but throughout the state. A lot of visitors come to see what our town does. It's really what we're known for towards the end of the year. However, we are ready as staff to implement the option that best meets community desires and maximize the experience, while we're also trying to do what we can do within our resources and budget. I said earlier that we're very late into organizing and coordinating these activities, but we want to make sure that from tonight, with your direction, we will huddle again tomorrow to kind of discuss how we can implement the option that you give us direction to go with. And then once we do that, we will go make sure that subsequent meetings over this month, next month, we'll come back and give you progress reports as to how we're preparing for this. We still need to put a committee together. If we're going to go with the option 2, which is 2 separate events, we are really going to need to reach out to a consultant that can get ready to get into this. And right now we're talking 3 months away or so if we're going to do something like that. If we're going to go with option 1, that's also going to be a lot of work and a lot of resources. But again, like Sheila said, that option does not maximize community experience. This option stretches us, and that's really why we were looking for an opportunity to do something that minimizes its impact on our resources. But we also understand that more than that is the community wants something that they can continue to embrace traditionally. And then, of course, the last option, again, is just focus our effort on Candy Cane Lane until we are at that point in the future where we feel we have a location and the right place to be able to have a parade. So I'll stop there, and hopefully we'll get some direction from you tonight. Thank you.
Questions, comments from the board?
Before we get started, first of all, I'd like to give staff an opportunity to bring it in a different way. This is the first time we've seen something like this where you see different options, and I appreciate that. Normally, we're kind of guided in a certain direction, but I definitely like to give us options. I do want to make that known that I like that concept.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments from the board?
I don't think that we can do option 2. We don't have enough time to do both of them at this point. If we're going to do 2 events, we need to do them well. We don't need to not just do them. And so I know at some point we can get either back to having both events, or we can do like the Harvest Festival, and once we get a space where we can actually have the entirety of Vance Street, it will be a lot easier. But I am very trepidatious about us moving forward with option 2 and trying to do both of these in such a short period of time and potentially not to the caliber that we're used to seeing.
So, Town Manager, with that said, option 2 is option that I'm actually looking at. So with that said, you would say it would take us bringing on a consultant in a rapid, timely manner. Sounds like correct?
Sorry, I didn't catch.
A consultant would be brought on for the Christmas
Yes.
parade? Or
We will need to bring in a consultant for option 2.
Okay.
And right now, at this point in time, other communities are probably approaching those or have approached those same consultants, but we will have to do something turnkey.
We used last year's already taken.
Probably so. We may have to go outside town, right? To get last year cost us about 17,000.
What to do is put the feelers out there. I mean, the candidate or not candidate, but the vendor that helped us last year, the consultant last year, could be an option. I don't know what their workload is. They asked me earlier in the year if we needed them on our calendar, and I did not have an answer of yes at that moment. So I don't know if they've filled that time or not. I can certainly ask. There may be others in the area that have experience with parades that would be willing to come in and help. We would need to very quickly reach out to find. My kind of, to what y'all mentioned, my goal would not be just get it done. My goal would be to find somebody that's going to take great pride in it and give us a product that would continue to grow.
Gotcha.
If that's the goal. I don't want to just check a box.
Gotcha.
If we do it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I've said it several times, I love the Christmas parade. I grew up seeing the Christmas parade every first Sunday in December, and I think it's amazing. I also really enjoy Candy Cane Lane, and what I've really come to enjoy about Candy Cane Lane is how it draws people from our region. We have people from, it's not just our community, but it's Knightdale, it's Middlesex, it's Wendell. So, last year at Candy Cane Lane, I met several people that were not from Zebulon, and I think that is something that we have become known for, is Candy Cane Lane. And so if my vote would be to focus our energy right now on Candy Cane Lane and see about doing the Christmas parade. Next year, maybe we can get more community involvement. I know we've kind of struggled with that in the past, so I don't know what type of things we can put in place. Well, I won't say we struggle with it, but I know that the chamber did with getting volunteers to help with the Christmas parade. So my vote is to go full on and continue an even better Candy Cane Lane, because it gets better every year, and to move forward that way.
I could say the same thing for Christmas parade. I met people from different places too as well. Middlesex, Knightdale, they came to our Christmas parade as well. So with that said, that we're just kind of writing it out. I do still hear the voice of the people. The people are still saying they want both. So how do we do that and find that happy medium together? That's going to be key.
I actually like option 1 because it gives us the combination of the two.
Okay.
Talking with citizens, I do agree. The importance of both the parade and Candy Cane Lane. Candy Cane Lane does bring citizens as well as residents that do not live or do not reside in the town of Zebulon or even in East Wake County. But the parade also, I had the opportunity to sit and look out and see thousands of people who were enjoying the opportunity. So with this, we might not get the full extent of both the parade and Candy Cane Lane, but this gives opportunity to bring the two together. So I really like this option, the hybrid option 1.
So, thank you for that. Some clarity again on option 1 is this parade will not include floats. It will just be walking parade. You have the smaller footprint, which is half a block, goes to the tree lighting. And then the second one is 2 blocks, also goes to the tree lighting. And then the third one does the same. Again, I just want to clarify that.
Hybrid.
Yeah. So it's not going to give
The full extent
full
of what a normal
experience.
parade would be.
Yeah.
Also, just and we went through a lot there, and so I just really wanted to make sure you caught that several of the hybrid option, no matter which one you look at, is going to require that vendors are only on one side of the street, anywhere where there's overlap of the two events.
Can you show option 2 one more time, please?
And again, option 2, it's not impossible. It's just going to be constrained in terms of the time that we have to prepare for the Christmas parade. It's not impossible. We just have to push hard to get the right vendor, and we may not be able to do it the way you want us to. So what is worth doing is worth doing well. Is that what they say? I think something like that.
Possibility.
Yeah. But it's possible. We just have to. We have a meeting internally tomorrow with our team to discuss whichever option you land on. We're going to go in and try to see how we unpack it and make sure that we can implement what we can within a short period of time.
So to make sure I completely understand, can we go back and put option 1 on the board, please? So which version of the hybrid would we go with? Is that up to us too as well, or what am I looking at? I see 3 different options, and maybe I'm...
None of these options in hybrid event has floats, right? These are all walking parade.
Right. All walking. One is much smaller, and it's more of a grand entry of the performers and the vendor participants. The other 2 are going to be more of your walking parade. It's a little bit more substantial. It's going to require a little bit more resources, more street closures, and they both would require impacts to the layout of Candy Cane Lane as you know it.
Where you have the food trucks located, for Candy Cane Lane, food trucks are normally not on a rental, correct?
There are some on both sides of the 200 block of Arundel, and we've also had them on both sides of Horton Street. So usually they are a little bit spread out, and we would be concentrating them to avoid a parade route as much as possible.
No matter what we choose, we have got to make sure that the vendors that we have at this event are not running their generators and are using our hookups. And it might mean that we don't have quite as many food vendors, but the noise that's generated and the pollution that's put into the air around so many thousands of people is just awful to have to be there and be a participant. And that's why we put the hookups on, where we had them located, was so that food vendors could use the hookups.
We still don't have enough, so we've been working with it over time. We've submitted over the years additional funding to continue to grow our electrical infrastructure. So we'd be happy to bring that back to you. I think if anything, for the event to continue to grow and for it to meet community expectation, we're going to need more food trucks, not less. I'm
fine putting more electrical units down Horton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'd be happy to bring back what the cost would be, whether or not that can get done by Candy Cane Lane. That could be something that we can get the pricing on and see how quickly you want to move forward with that project. But I couldn't guarantee you that we could have that done by Candy Cane Lane.
Okay.
But the footprint that we've had in the past does allow us to spread out our food trucks a little bit more to focus on areas where there are hookups for food trucks.
Yeah, but for the hybrid event, all the food trucks are located right in front of where the stages are going to be. And so there would be the pollution and the noise right in front of the stages? Is there a way to move those food trucks elsewhere?
We can certainly look at it. And I think at the end of the day, this is not a final logistical scenario, but it demonstrates the reality of the constraints that we have with the 2 blocks that we work with for these events. And so as we continue to grow our events, as y'all have said, we've grown them and they get better every year. And so this is, if that's a concern, we'll certainly look at it to see if there's another option that we could get them away. I think you're talking about 2 blocks that we're working with. So no matter where I put them, there's going to be a challenge concentrating them on Horton Street. We could certainly do that. But from our experience in past events, I think moving them onto a rental based on the feedback we've gotten from downtown businesses and from the food trucks and from the participants, that would be a better place for them. But we're certainly, this isn't completely set in stone until we fully go through logistics. But we would be more than happy to get you cost on what it would take to get more electrical outlets for us to support all of the food trucks with direct power. And we would look at how we can move them. I think regardless just make sure y'all understood that regardless of where they are, each one of these will impact how the event has been laid out, and it will force in multiple locations of Candy Cane Lane, the activities and vendors will be pushed to one side, and traditional activities for some, like the tree lighting and the main stage, will be moved around.
So do you need from us to give some guidance on which one of these options that we want you to move forward with?
We just don't have a fancy ballot for you to do that.
Because
we just need some direction from you.
Whatever we choose is going to be some logistics that need to be considered. So,
Would it help if we go through all 3 again, Mayor?
No, we heard
you. Does anyone need to go through the options again?
Not for me. Thank you, Sheila.
I'm hearing that the 2 events aren't impossible, but we need to hire a consultant, and we have the hybrid option. So what's your appetite?
The hybrid option, the parade that doesn't move, I'm not a big fan of that, I will say. And I don't know that is when, as citizens are expressing their interest for a parade, if they're interested in the walking one. We did one year, it was really nice, but it wouldn't be the preference that I've heard that we want. I don't know how taxing it would be to do the 2 separate ones, but if I had to choose right now, in hearing, the board, it would just be the 2 separate ones.
Option 2. And I think the consultant's going to take some of that burden. Sounds like that consultant and their team would take some of that burden off staff, if I'm gathering that correct?
Yes, it doesn't totally mean that we're not going to be involved,
Correct.
but the consultant will take the burden of that. And we can find out within the next couple of days about the consultant's availability to do that, and I can inform you of that.
As for me, I'm leaning towards option 2 then.
I heard the word possibility for option 2. Once I hear possibility, I like that. Let's try so we can get the most for the citizens.
So what I hear is we proceed with option 2, but if we find that we're not able to secure a consultant to help us successfully organize Christmas parade, what will be your plan B or backup?
That'll be option one for me. Dr. Walker.
Okay.
But I'm highly optimistic that they're going to find a consultant that can make this thing happen. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I believe in my town manager. So
We always need a backup plan.
Yeah, I think that would be my option too, like to try for both with the consultant, and if we can't find a consultant,
reluctant option
Option one.
Option one.
Commissioner Baxter?
So we go with option 2 as a plan A.
Yes, sir.
Provided we find a consultant at this late in the game to help us organize that. Definitely, Candy Cane Lane is set. We will be able to do that, even as part of option 2. It's really the question of securing the service of a third-party organizer to help us with the Christmas parade part. But if for some reason that doesn't work, we'll go to the hybrid option as a backup plan. But what I will say is that to do that, I also would like to minimize any potential impact on residents during the walking parade, people driving in and out of their driveways and businesses. But we will sit down tomorrow and figure out how to make that work.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you,
Dr.
Sheila.
Commissioner Baxter, did you have a comment?
I do. I think this late in the game, it is going to be such a burden on staff to ask them to put together both events. I love the parade so much. I've fought for the parade in the past, but I worry about the toll it's going to take on our employees to actually move forward to do these back-to-back events, especially since we are only giving them 3 months to pull it all together. And so I am not in support of doing both Candy Cane Lane and the parade because I just think it is putting an undue burden on our folks here. Not that I want a parade. I love a parade. Everyone loves a parade. But I also want to make sure that we are respectful of everyone's physical and mental well-being around the holidays. So I will support option 1 because that seems to be what everyone else has agreed to as an alternate. So that's where I stand.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any further discussion or comments? You have what you need?
Resolution for the street closure for Candy Cane Lane for consideration. It's Resolution 2026-03. It's the same process you followed for street closures in the past. The date would be November 22nd. We put the time of the event not knowing for sure if we're trying to merge the event with the parade. So we put 2 to 8, but if we need less time, we'll use less time. The street closure is 8 a.m. to 11:59. The closure needed is listed on the resolution, and it's also calling that for the authorization of consumption of alcohol within the festival boundary, and that the police chief is authorized to supplement closures as needed to safely operate the event. So the listed closure did give us some flexibility in the expansion of the festival ground onto Sycamore Street, but if we find additional closures are necessary, the police chief can authorize it based on the resolution. And then we would come back with one for the parade.
Do we have a sample resolution?
The motion will be to adopt Resolution 2026-03.
Do we have a copy of it?
copy of the motion
The
or
ordinance.
resolution?
The
Yeah,
ordinance. The ordinance.
the resolution is right there.
Resolution is in our packet.
Just for the people to see on top.
You want to read it?
Yeah, do you have that? Ms. Gomez, do you have that in your slideshow?
No, there's no one for that one.
It's in your
No,
online
no,
packet.
no, we were talking about so this
Yeah.
citizens can see as well.
Well, I'm fine making a motion to approve Resolution 2026-03.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. It can be found on page 250
Of the packet.
of the packet. Further discussion. Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter.
In favor?
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Harrison. Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Next, part of grant allocations for Little River ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor. As you're aware, we've been working on phase 1 of Little River Park development, and we are currently in design. We are almost done. We're going through the permitting process, and we really like the planning department, so we want to make sure we finalize our permits. And we really appreciate, the planning department has worked with us from the very beginning to make sure that we had a seamless process, and we are looking forward to getting our last few permits done. And that puts us, the next step is for us to go out to bid for construction and have a groundbreaking. So we are hoping to go out to bid in September, and if all goes well, we would be coming back to you for a grant award. The project will be beyond the scope that we can authorize without you taking the vote. And so we will come back to you tentatively in November and then schedule a groundbreaking from there. So we're really excited to see that project move forward. As you know, we were authorized, or we were awarded a Part F grant, and that's the Parks and Recreation Trust Fund for $500,000. And it is a reimbursement grant. And so we are getting ready to go to construction, and we want to now recognize those funds in the budget so that we can recognize the full scope that we have invested in Little River Park, so that when we go to bid and we go to award the project, we have the funds there. So what you are considering is the adoption of ordinance 2026-05, and that is to recognize the $500,000 Part F grant funds to the Little River Park Phase 1 Master Plan implementation.
And that ordinance is in your packet on page 251. And this is also goes toward Little River Park Phase 1 of the master plan.
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance 2026-05.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Roll vote. Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Harrison.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
In favor.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
New business. Financing of the fire EMS facility.
Good evening. You'll recall last month at the July 7th meeting, we did a preliminary findings resolution. One of the steps involved in the financing and construction of the fire and EMS facility. As required by general statute, we held the public hearing. Y'all adopted the preliminary findings resolution, and 2026-01, that was that resolution, and 2026-02 was the approval of the installment financing with Webster Bank. And tonight is the next step. You'll see in your packet a final findings resolution approving the financing agreement that's attached, as well as the deed of trust. So that's the next step in the process, approval of this 2026-04 findings resolution. Any questions? We have Ashley Anderson from Sands Anderson here, if there's any questions regarding the resolution or any of the deed of trust or anything else.
Any questions, comments from the board? And this can be found in your packet on page 254.
Motion to approve Resolution 2026-04.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Discussion? Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter.
In favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Harrison.
Favor.
Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Motion passes unanimous. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Board of Commissioners. I made the comment earlier tonight that when we started this journey, I just had no idea how many steps. But Bobby has just moved up one step, and we're going to hopefully move another step. But I can tell you there's not many steps left before we start making this dream a reality. I came to you at your work session to introduce our next step with our agreement with Wake County. The interlocal agreement, we are entering the current agreement we have with the county. We've done all the work there is to be done. We're getting ready to move into the construction phase. And the document that guides how we do that with the Wake County, Sarah Carl Richter is here tonight from Wake County Facility Design and Construction. She's our project manager, and she has been the quarterback to put all these different interests, whether it be the county, the USDA, the town, put all of this together for us in a single agreement. So she's the expert. We've got her here to answer any questions you may have tonight. All the different attorney groups, Wyrick Robbins, Sands Anderson, Davenport from the finance side, and even the USDA staff have reviewed this interlocal agreement to put it all together. And that's our hats off to Sarah for her work to try to coordinate all those groups and all those attorneys. No disrespect intended, but that's a lot of attorneys, I promise you, to put this together. So before you tonight is the interlocal agreement with Wake County. Upon your approval tonight, the Wake County Board of Commissioners will also consider this same agreement at their August 18th meeting. And then that will move us to prepare for those final steps, which are the closing of the loan, LGC approval, and then we'll come back to this body for a notice to proceed. But we stand ready to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions, comments from the board? Is there a motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve the Fire EMS Station Funding and Construction Interlocal Agreement with Wake County.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Roll vote. Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Harrison.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Um, 5 minutes?
No, like 2 minutes. I just need to
2
go
minutes.
through a lot of them.
Let's just do 5. We're good. Let's just 5, yeah. Yes.
5 minute recess.
So we had different types of surveys, one for residents, one for employees, and of course, one for commissioners. So I'll just walk through a few of these. If you look at the residents' responses, they believe that the new town manager should focus, I'll only highlight the top three: improvement to infrastructure and town services, manage the town's growth, and attracting and retaining quality staff. One thing you're going to notice about the top leadership qualities, even though residents, employees, and commissioners had different surveys, the responses for top leadership qualities are the same, which is kind of very interesting. Experience in local government management, communication and transparency, and forward thinking. We took a few quotes from some of our residents who responded. I'd like to highlight the second one. Strong leadership, a strategic vision for managing growth, a proven track record of stability in team building, critical in light of the town's high turnover. Experience in similar growing communities is essential, along with strong financial management skills and the ability to collaborate effectively with the town board and staff. And what you see in the blue bubbles are really what residents believe that the next manager should possess in terms of integrity, accountability, transparency, experience in municipal leadership. We had this over and over, as well as smart growth and development. Concerns with previous management, inconsistency, high turnover, lack of transparency. But I will highlight the third bullet point there, which is too much internal strife and not resolving issues timely and effectively. Seems like there's a slow response with ensuring the infrastructure is available for growth. How they should make decisions. Data will be very important. Input from residents and community stakeholders, as well as coordination with town staff and department heads. Employees, I believe that we were able to secure about 50-some responses from about 51 or so employees. And the top three priorities for employees are fair compensation and benefits for all employees, growth and planning for future development, improving internal communication, and transparency. Once again, the top leadership qualities are consistent with what residents said. Experience in local government management. Again, I need to clarify this. It's not just experience working for local government, but being in management in local government. Communication, transparency, as well as forward thinking. Employees also believe that the next time manager should have quality government experience, leadership and team building skill, integrity, and team player. I will highlight the second quote there, which is years of leadership experience, knowledge of different departments and their role in the town, ability to lead departments, guide them, but let them do their job. Again, this is coming from employees. Biggest challenge opportunities for Zebulon. Rebuilding trust, sustaining and managing rapid growth, instability and loss of morale. And then the additional comment here, this is a very interesting one, the fourth bullet point there. Zebulon is the fastest growing town in one of the most educated and desirable big metropolitan areas in the country. On paper, this should be a destination job for top assistant managers nationwide, and that is very true. Responses from commissioners, top three: infrastructure, town services, transparency, and open communication, strengthen community engagement. Again, you notice that infrastructure improvement, town services, managing growth is consistent, whether for residents or employees and commissioners. You'll notice again consistency in the top leadership qualities that you are looking for in your next manager. Experience in local government management, forward thinking, communication, and transparency. Commissioners would like to have the next manager set up a 3-month or 90-day goal, which is engaging residents, citizens, working with departments and the board to understand needs and priority, hiring for vacant positions and improving staff culture, and developing a 90-day action plan for early improvements and successes. So over the thing that this one here, in terms of what you desire the town manager to have, understanding of town policy and local government, willingness to do what needs to be done in the best interest of the town. So I'm going to quickly just share with you that over the next 2 weeks, we're going to post the position. So we've been pulling together these responses to form the basis of a job description, which will be different from job descriptions for previous manager advertisement. So we should have a job posting by the 15th of the month. That's the goal. We will do the same thing we did with the police chief position, which is to keep it open-ended on a rolling basis. So as soon as we're having resumes, we start setting up interviews with you all in September, October timeframe. So you start talking to potential candidates. Even without any job posting, we're already receiving a lot of interest, whether from Florida, Georgia, different parts of the country in this position. But we've been responding to people who have reached out to us that they should wait until we post the position. We will definitely make sure that they get the advertisement directly to them as well, including candidates who have reached out to you. So if you continue to have candidates reach out, please send them to us so HR can target them and really get the job posting directly to them. So people who are interested should see a job posting within the next 2 weeks. Again, thank you very much for the responses to our residents, to our employees, and of course to you commissioners. That's the extent of my report tonight. Thank you. Unless you have specific questions.
Any comments?
That, yeah.
Any comments from the board? Questions? Thank you. Board comments? Commissioner Miles?
None, sir.
Commissioner Davis? Commissioner Baxter?
Yes, I would like to just acknowledge that the National League of Cities has reached out to our fire chief to interview him and to create a blog about the kind of everything that we have had going on with our interlocal agreement to construct our new fire department. And that's kind of pretty awesome that such a important organization would not only see what we're doing in our community, but think that it's so awesome, which of course it is, and reach out for an interview. So I look forward to hearing how that goes. I'm sure that it's going to go fantastic. And then my final comment is that I will not be at the joint public hearing next Monday. For many, many years now, I have volunteered with Paper Hand Puppet Intervention. It is a larger-than-life puppet show that takes place in Chapel Hill. And Monday starts what we call Gel Week. And so I will be going through rehearsals and helping to make sure that the production comes together. I will make sure, as I always do, to watch the joint public hearing afterwards so that I don't miss any of the questions or comments. And I will make sure that I am ready to vote come the time when decisions are needed to be made. But I just wanted to make everybody aware that I won't be here at our next JPH.
Commissioner Harrison?
No, I just want to thank Parks and Rec and Mountain Zion United Holiness Church for the back to school event that was held this past Saturday. Special thanks to all the citizens that gave feedback about the Gill Street project. I saw a lot of people, and I even had an opportunity to explain it to my mom, and that was really cool. So thank you for that, and thank you to everyone that participated and came out. That is all I have.
Yes, I also like to thank the Parks, Recs, the Fire Department, police that were involved in the Gill Street Park book bag giveaway and the collaboration with the Mount Zion Holiness Church. and for the input from all the citizens on the possible expansion of Gill Street Park. It was a great turnout. I'd also like to give my condolences to Faye Brown's family. She recently passed away. She was a dedicated Rotarian that always placed service above self, and she will be really missed in the community. And my condolences goes out to her and her family. Next, we had another closed session as allowed by NC General Statutes 143-318.11 for the purpose of property acquisitions for Parks and Rec. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Is there a second? And we will go next door.